Dave.
Ian.
Dave.
Ian.
Dave, guess what? Guess what I did.
What did you do, buddy? What's going on? How are you?
I'm gonna tell
Dave.
you. You're Dave. I'm Ian. I'm gonna tell you what I did. If you stop interrupting me. I don't know. No, you can interrupt me all you want. You interrupt me all day. What are we doing? This is the Apex Adjacent podcast. We occasionally talk about cars.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about cars today. I did a thing that I've been thinking about doing for like 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a long time. That's
right?
a long time to think about something before you do it.
Yes, Ian.
Turns out that's not entirely helpful. I got to drive a race car on Laguna Seca.
You did that. So your first exposure to Laguna Seca, what, Gran Turismo? Was it in Gran Turismo? I don't even know.
Yeah, Gran Turismo
2? 3? I don't know. Like 97?
It
was, so I think 1 and 2 were on the PlayStation 1, 3 and 4 were on the PlayStation 2. So whatever you played it on, that might tell you. Yeah, but anyway, since you were a wee hairy man, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just a little peach. Ever since then, yes, I've been thinking about driving on Laguna Seca, and then I did it. And like I said, I don't think all of those years were necessarily helpful because... So basically, I drove a champ car race with my dad's team in the 1987 Maserati Biturbo.
Right.
It was the same car that we drove to Class Victory in Hallett this last May.
Right.
Which was awesome, and I was, obviously really excited to do it. We had kind of a rough and tumble weekend, but I will say, so just the first impressions of the track, like the first, I'm gonna say 4 to 5 laps, it was just like a weird head fuck of deja vu, but seeing it for the first time.
Right. Because how many virtual laps do you think you've turned on it over the years? Hundreds.
Thousands, probably.
Right. Yeah.
It's always one of my favorite tracks to play in whatever sim or video game or whatever I'm on. And I've also seen tons and tons and tons of just onboard video and races, IndyCar races. I mean, all sorts of stuff there. So it's this weird thing of again, a quarter century of thinking about it.
Right.
Before you do it.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that it's completely different, and really none of that was entirely helpful other than remembering, which direction to turn next vaguely.
Okay. So I want to talk through a few things. Okay.
Yeah.
So how high were your nerves those first few laps? Because you didn't get any practice time, did you?
No. So that was the thing. When I first signed up for the weekend, I thought that Friday was a practice day.
Turns out practice day was on Thursday.
Turns out practice day was the previous 25 years on Gran Turismo. No, so there wasn't a practice day. And so my first time on the track was in the race on Saturday. I was the third driver.
Okay. How much poo came out?
So much. I was so nervous. So many butterflies.
Okay.
And it's a racetrack. Fortunately, there weren't too many cars. But it felt like a high pressure situation to me. I know it's a silly amateur endurance race. But yeah, it was very nerve-wracking. Even just going out, pit out,
right?
Because pit out at Laguna Seca is very, very tight.
Yeah, and it drops you right after the first hairpin.
Yeah, so you're watching. You're looking at when you crest the hill coming out of the pits, you can see the cars flying past you,
right,
down the pit straight, going fast, and then you're on the inside of turn 2, which is the hairpin, the first hairpin, right?
Yeah, here we go. We'll pull up a map here. Yeah, so here's this.
Yeah, the Andretti hairpin. Yeah, the Andretti hairpin.
Yeah.
And it's nerve-wracking because you're just looking at it and you're like, oh wow, this is really intimidating. You're watching this braking zone, and then it turns out the actual like blend area to get out is non-existent. It's very, very short.
Okay.
And
like
the cars
this
are coming
area over here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And cars are coming over to get to turn 3, like right there.
Right.
So
they're wide here at 2.
Yeah.
You're here, so they're like you're intersecting.
Yes, and so for me at least, I was like thinking so much about like, oh, there's that hairpin. Oh, I got to remember that's a double apex, but I did not really. You're just doing the late one, and then like, oh, I'm on the track. Oh god, okay, that's where it's happening.
Okay. And so turn 3.
Yeah, so turn 3 just kind of flew by like the first time around. Turn 4, I went way too slow and made a bunch of people irritated with me, I'm sure. And then like turn 5 is what you don't realize playing it on the sim is that turn 5 is a downhill braking zone. You don't really get that sense of elevation change like you do in real life. And then it doesn't, like, I remember playing it, like doing it on the sim at your house, especially. And this was a constant thing around the lap. One of the first things I noticed once I could like wrap my head around like, oh, this is what I'm looking at here.
Right.
Is that, on the game, I felt like the curbs were really like disruptive to the car. Like when you got on the curbs, it really upset the car. But it's not the case here. Like the initial part of the curb, especially, is like really grippy and not super rough. Like I've driven tracks where the curbs are a lot more aggressive than they are here, and so they're totally usable and actually the best way around most of the corners.
Okay.
And so like I know on the game, like you have to really slow down for 5.
Right.
And I think it's just that it's that downhill braking zone where you have to be really deep into the brakes. But in real life, it's much faster than I thought it was going to be. And also much trickier. Like it's a tricky little corner that I never really got.
Okay.
And we'll get into how much time I actually got behind the wheel. But yeah, 5 and 6 were the hardest parts of the track for me.
Right.
Hands down.
I feel like we cheat in the sim on turn 6 because we kind of just chuck it straight towards the inside of the apex and maybe let the car dig into the pavement a bit.
That is what you're supposed to do in real life.
Oh, really? Okay.
Terrifying.
Is it? Okay.
I was doing about probably my minimum apex speed through there. The best I ever took it was probably about 65 miles an hour.
Okay.
And that was very far off the pace. Like that is 5 and 6 was easily where I lost the most time. And it's also like, you don't realize how crazy steep it is.
Right.
Because it's really, really steep.
Yeah, this is the whole backside climb to get up to the top of this corkscrew. Yeah.
I lost so much time.
Really?
All the way up, from 5 all the way up to the corkscrew.
Okay.
It was just killed me every time. And every time I did it, I was like, God, that was terrible. I'm going so much slower than I should be.
Okay.
And then the corkscrew, I think a lot of people say this, but like it's once you get over the first like, oh God, and you kind of get a rhythm with it, it's really not bad.
Okay.
It's really not that. And even in traffic, it's you get used to it really, really quickly.
Okay.
So that really wasn't too bad. 9 is goddamn terrifying though.
Okay.
because it's really fast. And it's a weird corner because it's an earlier apex than you think it's gonna. You have to turn in a lot earlier than you think you do.
Okay, this is the one I always screw up in the sim. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept trying to stay out and then go in late, and then by the time I turned in, I missed it. You know, like I was too far away. So you have to turn in earlier, and there's a lot of camber there, and you can really if you get it, when the couple of times I took it well, it was so satisfying.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you feel it hook up, and you just feel it like dig in underneath you on the camber and just slingshot out. And it's so fun. Nice.
Okay.
But it's scary. Definitely the first couple of times, because you're like, oh, this is fast through here.
Yeah.
Turn 10 wasn't that bad. Turn 10 is easier than it looks like it's going to be, because it opens a little bit on the exit, and so it's pretty forgiving. And then 11 is very tight. But I never really had a problem with 11. For whatever reason, I do pretty well with slow corners.
Okay.
Slow corners, I can kind of build up to them quickly, and I'm okay.
Sure.
Fast corners.
Okay.
Takes me a while. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And then turn 1 is it's more of a turn than you think it is. Where you position your car, I think when you get really used to this track, you probably don't think about it that much, but I was still thinking about turn 1.
Gotcha.
As a thing.
Sure.
Because that crest is also I think I was still probably not completely flat the whole way. I was still not completely flat the whole way. I lifted a bit every time I went over the crest at turn 1, because it's it's quick through there, and you're like, where's this braking zone happens quickly.
Right.
after you crest and then the car settles, you don't have a ton of time. So I was had my left wheels basically on the edge of the pit lane barrier. There's paint on the ground. There's green paint where there's the pit lane. And so I had my wheels kind of on that or next to it, and then would aim towards the outside of the first part of 2. And that was my braking zone. So as soon as the car would settle, then I would go on the brakes. Miss the first part of the apex. And a couple of times I got turn 2, and I was just like, ooh, that felt nice.
Okay.
I don't know if it was fast, but it felt good.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, nice. that was my initial thought about the track itself.
Okay. How did your nerves settle over subsequent laps?
Yeah, not terribly well. So I think my nerves settled. I went straight from just being really nervous, because of the situation of going straight into the race and not having driven it, and always I'm always a little nervous. Mm-hmm. I'm always nervous on a racetrack.
Sure, yeah.
And then feeling okay, I need to be faster. Right now, we need to start taking this lap time down. So my first flying lap on Saturday was a 2:14.
Okay.
Which is very far off the pace. I think our team's best lap time was a 1:51.
Okay. Yeah, and I saw some of the higher teams turning 1:45s, I think.
Yeah, there were some
1:43.
Yeah, there were some much faster teams than us. We had a couple in the low 150s, 153. We had a bunch, and then especially on Saturday, and then on Sunday, for whatever reason, most everyone, I think the best time we had was a 153, but most everything was a 155-ish, 156.
Okay. Gotcha.
But by the end of Sunday, my best time was a 158.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Now we'll talk about the actual, how much time I got. So yeah, my first flying lap was a 2:14. I got 12 laps on Saturday.
That's it?
Yeah. So we had some sort of like weird, mysterious fueling issue.
Uh-huh.
But because we have, like an aftermarket ECU and a tune and and like the whole thing is more complicated than you would normally think of. We definitely had, it was definitely hard to diagnose. So we had, basically what would happen is we would come off the throttle a little bit, like in a corner, like when you're doing like maintenance throttle in a corner. And then you would go back to throttle and then just nothing.
Really?
Like it wouldn't sputter. It was just nothing.
Like the connection was just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And it would only happen when we got down to like a quarter tank or so.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, a half tank or less. A half tank.
All right.
So we were only getting a half tank in this thing. We were burning tons of fuel, because the other thing is like California only has 91.
Right.
So we had, octane booster and the whole thing, and we were trying to do as best we could with the fuel that we had available. And then on top of it, we had a pretty safe, the tune on there is pretty safe. So it's pretty rich, runs pretty rich. So we were burning like, I think he said like 12 gallons an hour or something.
Whoa. Okay.
So we were right at, we were going to get, because it's a 24-gallon tank, which is stock in that car. Came with a 24-gallon tank. So we were going to get right at 2 hours of fuel.
Okay.
And like be on fumes, which was fine. But, and they have like an accumulator, surge tank. So basically the in-tank pump, or the pump that is outside the stock tank, pumps into an accumulator tank, and then there's a high pressure pump from the accumulator to the rail.
Okay.
So there's a lot of variables in there,
right.
To try to troubleshoot, especially when you're trying to do it like 5 minutes at a time,
right?
So the first two stints that happened, they got down to about half tank fuel, had this weird issue. But it seemed to be getting worse, because my uncle was the first one in the car, and he drove it, and he was able to drive through it. Like he could kind of drive around it where like it would sputter for him.
Okay.
And then the next driver that got in, Lenny, who runs Auto Italia, who's like a parts supplier for kind of vintage Italian stuff in the States. He got in, and it was sputtering for him, but more aggressive. And a couple points, it did completely cut out.
Okay.
I got in. Like I said, I got 12 laps, and then I was in a corner and lifted a little bit and went back, and then it was just nothing. Like it died completely.
Okay.
Engine cut out.
Yeah.
And so I had to I restarted it a couple times. It would run for like a couple of seconds. And then, I was trying everything. I was restarting hitting the master switch, turning it back on, popping the clutch. Because we kind of had the same issue in Hallett, if you remember. Like we had to recycle the ECU. And I had to pull off. There was a cutout in the wall, and I got onto a road outside of turn 5 and sat there, and I got towed in on the tow truck.
Okay.
We fiddled with stuff. Fun. Yeah, we fiddled with stuff. I think that first time we replaced the fuel filter, because there was a couple of them on the car. Replaced the fuel filter, sent me back out. I got my out lap. I said on my first flying lap I started, I was like, it feels, and we didn't put any more fuel in the car.
Oh, okay.
And so on my first flying lap, I passed the pits on the straight, and I said, it's running better. Everything seems to be fine.
No cutout or sputtering. Boom. No.
Yep. On the straight, and just died. And I coasted through. I was able to coast through turn 2, and then I had nothing again and had to sit on the outside of turn 2 and waited for the tow truck again.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I got 10 flying laps the first one, and then lap and a so I mean I got like 12 laps on Saturday.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. So we like on Saturday we just put fuel in the car and just kept and like tried it again and went back out. Sunday I drove second, so Lenny drove first. Same thing sort of happened to him again.
Okay.
And then I got in. I had a longer stint. I think I had 20. I think it was like 27 laps I had.
Okay.
And the same thing happened. I was in turn 9 when it happened, and I was actually somebody was passing me, and so like I had stayed outside to let them go through, but then of course they were slower than me, so I had to kind of lift to not hit them at the apex.
Right.
And when I went back to the throttle, nothing.
Jeez, man.
And I was able to get it into the pits. I was like, I'm coming in. It happened. I'm coming in now.
Okay.
So we tried. I mean, I posted some stuff on Twitter. I mean, we replaced fuel filters. We replaced hoses. We replaced, fuel line. We were pulling spark plugs to look at them. We had one cylinder that was completely fouled, like completely black, that looked nothing like the rest of them.
What?
And so the thing that's hard about this is that, it's hard to tell if it's a condition where, because of the way that the sensors are set up and stuff, basically you have an O2 sensor per bank of 3 cylinders, right?
Yeah.
And so like the computer knows how much fuel it's sending through the injectors, and it knows what it sees out the header,
right,
on each side. But if you have like one that's not working, and the O2 sensor just sees like a ton of fuel in the unburnt fuel or whatever in the header, then it just goes, oh, it's way too rich, and it tries to pull. Right. It'll try to pull fuel or pull spark or whatever it's going to do. So it makes it hard to diagnose, and there's not like, in the ECU, it doesn't say like, oh, I did this because of this.
Right. No, like logging. Right.
It just shows you, where it's lean or where it's rich, and then the other kind of recording that it does like RPM and that sort of stuff. So it's really difficult to diagnose. And then eventually on Sunday, they ended up getting a fuel pressure gauge attached to the rail.
Oh, okay.
And we couldn't recreate it without off a load. So
really?
They zip tied the fuel pressure gauge So like the top of the engine, we ran without a hood, zip tied the fuel pressure gauge, because at one point we thought it was temperature related. So the hood had come off.
Sure.
We were like, we were vaporizing fuel someplace, like, So the fuel gauge was zip tied up, and my uncle drove it around, and he saw the fuel pressure at the rail drop to 0.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Right. And that's not supposed to happen. The fuel pressure at the rail is supposed to be constant, and then the injectors figure it out because it's a return system.
Right.
And so that's not what was happening. So I think once we figured that out, we were like, okay, well, we're done.
Right.
There's nothing we're going to be able to do, because we checked pumps and filters and all sorts of stuff. So the last thing that we did was, there was like a screen filter in the bottom of the tank. And we tried blowing air up through it to see if maybe there was blocked or debris or something. And if that was why we weren't getting constant pressure, and it didn't help. So yeah, I'm assuming in the next couple of weeks they're going to take it apart and figure it out. But yeah, it was really vexing to just have this weird thing happen.
Yeah.
But on a personal note, which is really what's important here.
That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with over the course of less than 40 flying laps,
Right.
going from a 214 to a 158
Yeah.
in a race, like not having like open track or anything. It was only like 30 cars, so it wasn't super crowded, but still I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm in a way, I'm almost, a part of me is a little bit glad that we weren't in a competitive spot, because I felt less bad about like learning on the job.
Well, okay.
Instead of like ruining our race or ruining our chances at winning.
Well, then they should have brought if that was a goal, then they should have brought a driver with previous experience. Right.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but that's not on you. That's not on you.
But yeah, no, it was, I mean, when the car was running, it's a ton of fun, because it just chews up those hills, man.
I was going to say like that 5 to 6 transition of going all the way uphill. You should, like, in this, like, turbo boost, like you had like 50-degree ambient air, like in Monterey, like the temperature was like perfect for like turbos and like maintaining grip in tires. Like it was like this nice butter zone of temperatures, right?
It was. It ended up getting hotter than that.
Okay.
Especially on Sunday, it was warmer. And once it did, actually, that was one thing that helped a lot. Was a little bit into my stint, it started to understeer a little bit more.
Okay.
It got, the track temperature really came up when the sun came out. And actually that really helped me, because I was like, oh, I know what this is.
Okay.
I know what to do with understeer.
Right. Yes.
But the balance of the car was really great, because it would understeer just like a tiny smidgen, and it was still really neutral. And so you could just kind of like, just a little lift and it would rotate and you could just go. But I was also like very far off the limit. So it wasn't like I was really like, making it dance through anything. But yeah, I think my uncle's fastest time on Sunday was like a 155. So,
oh, nice. Okay.
My 158 wasn't too far off the pace. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely super fun. I want to go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you think it's your favorite track that you've driven on in North America? Like,
I think Watkins Glen is still my favorite.
Okay.
Because Watkins Glen was just so, I don't know. I don't know. I had a better time there of just like getting a rhythm. Like, I don't know. It flows a little bit more, and you just like, I don't know. I got into a real understanding with that place a little bit faster than I have other places.
Okay.
Yeah. There's only one spot that I'm like, in my mind, I'm like terrified of there.
Okay.
Which is turn 9. It knows what it did.
Yep. Right. Okay. Well, I wish I could have been there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much help I would have been with a fuel system issue, but
yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Look at that engine bay. Like that intake with the Maserati like logo on it.
Yep.
So great.
It's super cool. I mean, and as my dad likes to point out, that's all stock except for the valve covers.
Really? Like
those red valve covers were custom made to flow oil a little bit better. But yeah, there's obviously some like silicone hosing and stuff here, but like that's what it looks like from the factory. Like that's stock.
That's rad as hell.
Right?
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah. What other cars did you see out there that you liked? Like what else was in the paddock that caught your eye?
There were 300 Miatas in the field. Like
yes, there were tons of Miatas.
All Miatas.
Yeah.
Our class had a Fox body Mustang, which looked so cool.
This was the 5-point slow folks, right?
Yes, it looked boss as hell. It was orange and had
Okay.
the louvers on the back, and
Yes.
I mean, it was super cool looking. It looked like it was going to be really cheaty. They got penalty laps because, like, a Mustang and Champ car starts. They do a point system, so you get 500 points, and so if your car is under that, then you can take modifications to get yourself up to 500 points before you start taking penalty laps.
Okay.
They had I think the Fox Body Mustang starts with like 520.
Okay.
And so they started the race with -4 laps.
Okay.
They ended the race with -3 laps.
Oh, okay. All right.
They blew up the engine like immediately.
Yeah.
So that was one car that was in our class, and then the other two cars were both. One was a Trans Am, one was a Firebird.
Okay.
Both like Gen 2 Firebirds through Gen 3.
Was one of them the Bandits team?
Yeah, so like
They did really well, right?
Yeah, and they were fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like
I watched.
they were just we could see turn 11 from our pit.
Okay.
And you would see them go through side by side with a Miata, and then they would just fucking disappear, like gone.
Right.
They were so fast.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and they could drive. I mean, they could drive. I mean, they were.
Yeah.
You could tell. You would see them on track, and I mean, you could tell they were hustling that thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I actually watched some racing, Ian. Yeah, my wife and I watched some of the YouTube live stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the other thing, is we had a camera in our car for Saturday, and we got them to take it out because we were like, every time we have a camera in the car, my dad said it goes poorly, so they took it out. Yeah.
I did see your floppy hair on the live stream when you were in the car at one point.
Oh,
yeah.
Probably helping with a driver change or something.
Yeah, you were just wearing a flannel shirt, so your blue and black flannel. So whatever you were doing, it couldn't have been on the.
Yeah,
pit.
I think I think you texted me after that happened. We were in the garage.
Okay.
Doing one of our many attempted fixes, and I was probably in the passenger seat helping the next driver.
There you go. Yeah.
Get hooked up, get Cool Suit hooked up, and all that sort of stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if any of my laps were on the live stream or not, but I'm sure they did not look pretty, because if they were on Saturday, and I had no idea where I was going, so probably not good.
He somehow managed to throw it in reverse.
Yeah. I did catch myself because it's a dog leg.
Right, it's a dog leg, yeah.
And going into 11 one time, I caught myself. I went to go put it into second, which is first.
Right.
And I went, nope.
Back out and forward.
Put it in the second.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. I'm glad you didn't money shift the car. Okay.
Oh, me too. I thought that same thing as I was like leaving turn 11. I was like, God, that would have really been bad.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, it was a blast. The car is very fun to drive when it's working.
Right.
And Laguna Seca is gorgeous. Like, it's really, really pretty and amazing.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah. So it's what kind of like, it's south of San Francisco, like by what, like an hour, 2 hours, maybe?
Yeah. It's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
From San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, we flew in and out of there, and it was great.
Nice.
My wife and kids were in Monterey the whole time, which is like a 10-minute drive away.
Yeah.
And they went, got to go to the aquarium with them on Friday, because I thought I was going to be practicing, but instead we went to the aquarium, which was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the country. Like, it's so pretty there.
Right. Yeah. Right on, man. Good. Yeah. Nice, buddy. Well,
Thanks.
I'm glad you got some actual stick time on it in the car on a track.
Yep.
And I can't wait for more.
Yeah, me too. And I'm psyched I didn't spin or
Yeah.
I had no offs.
You didn't bend anything?
Other than getting out of people's way when the car was broken.
Right.
I was on track the whole time and managed to improve pretty well. So I'm happy with not breaking anything or spinning or So yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
Slow and steady. Just like always.
There we go, right? Yep. Do an Apex adjacent proud, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice. Okay. All right.
Thanks for letting me download about that.
Yeah, no. I love the post-race report.
Yes.
Right?
What else are we talking about today?
So the only other thing that I have on the agenda, this is going to come out on Thanksgiving Day, right? Mm-hmm. And so I wanted us to kind of do a little brainstorm or discussion about a holiday gift guide, right?
Yes.
Like an Apex adjacent gift guide. If you're looking to get a car enthusiast in your life something for the holidays, a birthday, right? A bar mitzvah, if you will, anything, right? Mm-hmm. This is like, listen to this because I think we have some fun suggestions.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. Yep.
So today, our buddy Sid with One Hell of a Town put up their update.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. A town. Yep. Here we go. So on onehellofatown.com, you can find all kinds of great stuff, right? This is all makes great gifts, right? Did you buy anything yet today, Ian?
I have not. I forgot that this was happening today, but yeah, I have not.
Okay. All right. So I bought stuff. I bought a lot of stuff. I forgot to use the free shipping code, but that's on me. But yeah, so there is a fantastic, look at this Swedish Rally blanket, the woven blanket.
Wow.
Right?
That's
How
great.
cool is that? Right?
That's super cool.
I'm gonna go buy one of these.
Okay.
This this is a recent thing that I saw horses, a hoodie or a sweatshirt that says horses invented cars so they could relax. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got this Saab shirt here. Look at that. Like Saab IKEA instructions.
I love that.
Right? Yeah. With the Scandinavian flick instructions on the side.
Yeah, I expect that I will probably receive one of these for Christmas.
Okay. Nice.
Because I once Scandinavian flicked a car into a tree and have never lived it down. This was many, 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 many years ago.
What car was it?
My first car. It was an Audi 5000.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I got one of these Home Sweet Home mugs with a classic Saab 900 on it with the Saab 900 camper.
Yes.
Right? Yep. I got a set of these coasters, these wheel coasters. Look at those. Right? They got the tri-spokes till I die spoke, the teddy bear. I mean, come on. Right?
Amazing.
Like, the thing that I love about One Hell of a Town is that like Sid has these like just has this knack of finding this like this balance between like quirkiness and like quirkiness, but like when you see it, you're like, it's not quirky to the point where you'd be like, oh, that's cool, but like I don't see that like integrating into my life at all. Like,
right.
Like it's all quirky stuff that you're like, yes, I want this. And I want to like, plant like this kind of stuff in my environment. Right. Mm-hmm. Like I want this kind of stuff around me, you know?
Yeah.
And so like Sid's artistic vision is really, really cool. And it's crucial to the automotive community. I love it.
Yeah.
She did these national parks prints.
Very cool.
Right. I ordered a redwood one because that's the only out of these, the only national park that I've been to.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been to
I was going to say, I bet you've been to all of these.
No, I've been to 4 of them. I've never been to Everglades or Joshua Tree.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never been to the Everglades either. I love that there's like a monster Miata in there.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So those are gorgeous. I got one of these rally ornaments. I got the Saab rally ornament. So these are like kind of like more expressive versions of the keychains, right? Like I love this evolution and direction of her art. It's really cool. Yeah, you got license plate frames. You've got a grill badge. You've got enamel pins. You can do custom greeting cards. They've got maple candy that I can vouch is, because Sid threw some of that in one of my packages, and it's freaking delicious. Like, I don't know if you've ever had maple candy before from Vermont or the area, but it's awesome.
I have not.
It's weird. It's like, it kind of melts in your mouth. It's like this whole thing on its own. Yeah.
Okay.
Great stickers. I heart terrible cars. Yeehaw, fuck the law. I love this one. MILF, man, I love frogs. I have one. I don't know if I'm ever going to stick it to something, but I just love the idea of the sticker so much. Like, yeah, this one, I'm not a car girl. I'm a shitbox slut. I have another one of these stickers, the opossum. Being from Missouri, I've seen tons of opossum. Please don't honk. I'm sensitive. Stickers. I have one of these tote bags. The price is firm. I know what I have. Tote bag.
I have the Women in Motorsports tag.
See, there you go. Right, the Women in Motorsport. I have the Game Boy keychains. I mean, like all kinds of great stuff. You get a virtual spin in the Gashapon machine, like the Japanese vending machine, to get little K car. Oh,
that's cool. That's awesome.
Here's the K car keychains. I have 2 of these. I think I have the scooter and the melons. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Right. Awesome. And of course, like the classic stickers, like I've got the Frank Ocean Nostalgia Ultra sticker. I mean, I have most of these, but yeah. All the classic keychains, like these, 2 keychain, like the pair keychains of like a Game Boy and an 86, like just,
yep.
Sid's got awesome stuff, man. The Women Belong in Motorsport sticker.
Yeah. She has tons of great stuff, and you should buy everything from her.
Right. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. I got the Saab sticker, the McLaren sticker.
Yeah, I've got OHOAT stickers on my helmet.
Yeah.
Which I don't have because it's logistics being shipped home.
Yes. So first stop on the holiday gift guide needs to be at onehellofattown.com, right? What else you thinking, Ian?
I think you have therapy copays on here, which I took to mean karting gift certificates.
See, there you go. Yep.
So wherever your car loving person lives, they probably have a kart place next to them.
Right.
And they all do gift cards.
Yes.
They all love selling gift cards.
Yeah, they do. And guess what? Karting isn't exactly cheap. So like greasing the wheels to get your automotive enthusiast friend karting, that's always good.
Or if you have someone who really likes to go karting.
Right.
A set of gloves.
Oh, there you go. That's a great idea.
It's a great gift. And it's also something great to ask for because it's hard, sometimes it's hard to like, oh, I need, a head gasket for a 1.3 liter, but not a 1.5 liter.
Right.
And if you get the wrong one, then it doesn't work and you wasted your money. It's hard to get your non-car family members to buy you things that are correct.
Right.
But a set of gloves, either shop gloves if you're working on cars or driving gloves for karting or racing, that's pretty hard to screw up.
Yep.
So that would be, I mean, that's what I'm going to ask for this year. A set of gloves.
And I think that segues into like maybe some stuff that wouldn't occur to them, like safety gear, right? Like the the newest Carhartt safety glasses are like, they're rated so well. I've been watching a bunch of these like tool review videos, and there's this guy, I think Project Farm, that just like does these like exhaustive reviews of like, say, like he'll do like 7 or 8 safety glasses, right? And like, you know, a battery of tests on them, but like the new Carhartt safety glasses are fantastic. You know, I just love this is our show right here, because it would never occur to me to watch a review of safety glasses. Oh yeah. I like, look at our YouTube history. Yeah. Right.
It would just never occur to me.
Yeah. And actually I think he had his, I came to it by way of his, that guy, Project Farm, I think, his wrap up of like his 10 best tools that he had from 2020 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Right? And yes, and the Carhartt safety glasses were in there. So safety glasses, nitrile gloves, you know, like a good pocket knife, because you're opening a lot of boxes, right?
Yeah.
I prefer the Kershaw, you know, assisted open pocket knife, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know, and then, you know, then that of course extends into tools, right? Car people, we love tools.
Yeah. I feel like tools is tough though. Tools is tough because you don't want to ask for something especially if you're walking a line between like expensive and not expensive, when you're asking for things or buying things for people.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, I already have a favorite socket.
Right.
Wrench or whatever.
So here, let's do like a little bit of advice. So let's say you're the car person, Ian. Okay. I'm a non-car person, and I want to get you some kind of tool related gift. Okay. Do you have cordless tools now? These are all questions that someone can ask. Do you have cordless tools now?
I do. I have some Ryobi. Some Ryobi.
Okay.
Tools, yeah.
Yeah. So send me a picture of the battery, right? And you know, or like, you know, asking what battery system, right? You said Ryobi, right? Ryobi has.
I feel like you're already way beyond what most family members, what most non-automotive or
I don't think
handy family members would ask.
I've gotten really? Milwaukee stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. In this house, we're a Milwaukee family because that happens to be the first battery system I bought into. And yeah, right. That's how that stuff should go.
That's how they get you.
Right. But the battery system, right. And an extra battery for the battery system never hurts. It doesn't even need to be the tool. Right.
Yeah. See, that's a good, I like the support things for the tools is the,
right.
That's a good thing. I think like a nice thing is like a second cheap set of tools.
Yes.
For the car.
Yes, that's a great idea.
A soundproof bag for the car.
Yep.
Where they're not rattling around.
Yep.
Like I use a lunch bag because it's insulated.
It's got padded sides, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I use like a little lunch pail bag for like my emergency, like take it in the car, need to fix something on the side of the road, or need to twirl a socket while I call AAA, which is what normally happens.
No, you're exactly right. Also, if they don't have a portable jump pack, one of those things is great, right?
Yes.
Portable jump pack, portable air compressor, right? Yeah, that kind of stuff.
A AAA membership.
There you go. Right. If you're like us.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're someone who wants to buy you $200 worth of something, a AAA membership is pretty nice.
Well, there's a couple tiers, right? You of course went in high. I went in mid. I think mine was about 136 or something per year, right?
Yeah. I went in high because it turns out if you tow a car in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains once, you're going to pay for like 6 years of top tier AAA membership. So it's a real thing.
Yeah. And you know, now that I'm a AAA member, your next toe's on me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. That's the sign of a true friendship when you start trading roadside assistance benefits.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you're not sending me frequent flyer miles. I'm not sending you hotel points.
No.
Right?
Send you a tow truck.
Yep. You know what? Another great gift for a person is a really good flashlight. Right? Like
Perfect.
a small, like one of the, like I like the, what is that one I have? The Big Larry? Is that it? Let me pull it. Let's see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that you can get the LED light strips that work with the tool batteries that they have.
Yep.
That's another really good thing to have.
That's a great one. Yeah. Or a Bluetooth speaker for when you're out like working on the car. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big Larry.
Also handy for when you need to call your emotional support friend who's going to talk you through this most recent breakdown.
Yes, or a cell phone battery pack, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the flashlight I like. This is the Big Larry. It's got a magnetic base. This thing is pretty fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like
we use that a bunch.
I do like that they've labeled it unisex adult.
Fits in both. Fits in both.
Yep. Another one is you can get these big LED lights that just hook onto the hood.
Yeah.
Right?
Those things are awesome.
Or like I got new garage lights. Those garage LED lights are great, you know? Mm-hmm. Right? Let's see. Get, like you said earlier, karting gift certificates, Rock Auto gift certificates. If they're the person that frequents Rock Auto and has, I don't know how many magnets do you think I have?
Yeah, I don't know, a lot.
60-ish? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And then like there's the whole like possibility of like video game stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So a Steam gift card if they're like a PC gamer, you know, PSN or Xbox, right? Because there's always some downloadable content or always some like game that like you want, but not like enough that you've bought it yourself yet, you know, like that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, the digital storefronts, you know, are always good if you have a video game enthusiast and also an automotive enthusiast, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now let's say, Ian, let's talk about like maybe some more esoteric stuff that people wouldn't necessarily like think of, right? Let's say you have like an automotive, like I mean, just like somebody in your life that like you are very committed to in a very brotherly way, right? Mm-hmm. Like this person runs really deep with you and you say, start a podcast by talking underneath a table like more than 6 years ago.
I'll try to wrap my head around this hypothetical. Okay.
And like this person like loves to cook, but also they're a crazy car enthusiast. Can you think of like a gift that like somebody like that might like? That maybe has something to do with like a French car brand?
I'm really hoping it's like a Citroen DS cookie cutter.
Yes. No, Ian, it's not.
Oh, yes, no. A Peugeot pepper mill, which is a thing that you got for me.
Did you really now just get to that?
Fancy. So I totally forgot about it. But you're right. No, it's very nice.
Yeah, Peugeot makes pepper mills for anybody who didn't know.
Yeah, well, that was their original business, I think, right?
It was just general metalwork. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sadly empty right now because I feel like I have to have good pepper to put in it.
Okay.
It's so fancy.
Okay.
So I don't have any of my cheap Safeway black pepper in it. Get out of here with that. I'm going to refill it with some nice pepper. But
gotcha.
Yeah, that's a great thing too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's stuff that you can kind of find that's like car adjacent. It doesn't necessarily have to be a car thing, but can kind of be car adjacent, you know, Peugeot pepper mill kind of area, right? You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I like that.
Yeah. What else? What else you think?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, I think those are the things that I like to get. I think honestly, getting actual tools, I'm usually like, this doesn't quite fit my thing.
Sure.
And then car parts, I've never asked for car parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll handle that.
Right.
Find out what tire place they could like, and
there you go.
A gift card to the tire place.
Yep.
That's another good suggestion.
You know what's not a bad suggestion?
What's that?
Pop by Costco or Sam's Club. Pick up a fire extinguisher for the garage.
See?
Right?
Smart.
Yeah.
This has been Safety Hour with Dave.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is all the kind of stuff that you can like think of for your car enthusiast friend, right? Wheel chocks, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always something, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So start with one hell of a town with whatever money you have left over after that, which won't be much, then get to the rest of what we mentioned. But
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we moved a lot of units. Got some good gifts ideas out there.
Yeah.
What about if people enjoyed this repartee? What should people do?
You know what people should do? The most important thing, in my opinion, is if people enjoy this kind of stuff, is they should get vaccinated. They should take care of themselves, right? Mm-hmm. They should prioritize their mental health, right? Because the most important thing about all of this, and the thing that we're most thankful for, you and I, is the people that listen to this, right?
Yeah.
And so there's nothing more that we want than people to take care of themselves and to be safe, right? Now, once you've done that, once you've sealed yourself in a hermetic bubble and you've gotten us on YouTube, then sure, yeah, tell a friend about us, yell at a relative over Thanksgiving, do that kind of stuff, but take care of yourself, because we're thinking about you and we're really freaking thankful for you.
See, this is another good idea, is that one thing that you can always do is if you're dealing with like an idiotic member at Thanksgiving and you need to sidestep and you need to deflect, you can just blame it on the two idiots you listen to on the podcast. Well, they said, right. And then you're doing two things at once.
Right.
You're arguing with someone who needs to be argued with, and you're promoting our podcast. It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Right. And if family tensions get high, maybe the conversation can shift to cars, Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's what
right?
That's what I do.
Yeah. Neutral topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Neutral ground. Go to.
Yep.
We love you, everyone. Be safe traveling for holidays and all of that. We will be back soon with normal programming. Goodbye.